Okay, we have all these options. We have view store, we have the type, the store ID, the name, the location. We can also look at the customers in the store, list of customers, IDs, name, account. We can also find them by ID. We have their Alice, and we have Bob. If we go to the purchase history, there's no purchases yet. The ATM, we can check balances. So let's check Alice's balance. Now let's check Bob's balance. Okay, let's withdraw some money from Bob. Let's do more than he has. Oh, and we can't do that. Okay, from Alice, let's deposit some negative money. The deposit must be positive. Okay, let's go back and let's actually go to the store. Let's go to the clothing store first. We can list the items. There they are. We can also sort the items. Now they're sorted. We can also do heap sort, but since we already sorted it with merge sort, well, they're already sorted. We can also add items to the cart. So let's get some socks. Let's get 2 pairs of socks. And let's go to the checkout. Customer ID. Let's do Alice. So Alice now has these. Now let's get someone else. Let's get Bob now. So Bob has a jacket. Let's put him in the queue. Here we go. And now let's serve Alice. Let's serve Bob. We can also see the price statistics from $4 to $60, which is the jacket and the socks. Let's go back and look at the purchase history. There we see that. Let's go back to shopping, but this time, let's go to the tech store. We'll see all the stuff here, the stock and everything. And we can sort them as well. Now let's get a product. Let's get a mouse. And we can see that we got an electronics fee. We get this every time we buy something from the electronics store. And obviously, we can't leave until we pay. So let's go to the checkout. Let's say that Carol needs this. So now she's in the queue. We serve her, and there you go. Same thing here with the minimum and maximum. We go back, we see that the purchase history, there, Carol, ticks her. Go back to the shopping. Let's go to the third store now, or this one, the food court. We can list the items. We see the soda, the ice cream, the pizza slices, all the other stuff. Now let's get a burger. Let's get 3 of them. Now we see that we got a combo discount for getting more than 1 item. I mean more than 3 items, or 3 items or more. So now our total is actually $13.47. Let's get in the queue. Let's see that Bob is hungry after that. So we're gonna serve him. There you go. We go back. And now we see all these in order. Recent first. It's Bob, Carol, Bob, Alice. So now let's talk about the actual structure. So here, this is the entry point with the main function. We created mall object because the mall is pretty much the brains of the operation. It has like pretty much everything, like from customers, products, products is in stores, the stacks and queues, bank accounts, ATMs, all that, and it loads files from the data, loads data from the files, from these files for the stores, products, customers, accounts. And then if we go over here, we see this is the pending purchase struct, which is where we hold all the pending purchases, so that way we can keep track of who's going to get what, and that way they can't leave the store. And over here, the transactions, this is what we use to temporarily store stuff in the history. Since we can't actually access the stack directly, we have to get a temporary stack and then push it to this transaction instruction. Then we have an array of up to 10 store pointers. Then we have the customer objects here, the array, and then the accounts, everything here. We also have the pending purchases here, which is find pending for customer and store, find pending for customer, all that good stuff. And here we have the member functions and everything, constructor, destructor. Since we have like a lot of pointers and everything, we have to clear up all the memory. And then over here is where we have exception classes, and we also have inheritance and polymorphism. So in the store, you also have protected, so that way we can access these, but only from these classes, the subclasses, which inherit some store. So you have all these. Then we also have some polymorphism, which is purchase product, which the behavior here is what I showed earlier, the electronics store adding a $5 fee in the food court with a combo discount for when you purchase 3 or more. But all stores share product storage, listing, and sorting. Over here in the bank account, we have pretty much the same thing. You have bank account with the protected and all that stuff. Same thing, polymorphism and everything. So that way we can see whether it's a checking or a savings account. Then we also have these exceptions over here, exception classes. We have invalid amount exception for non-positive deposits and withdrawals, as we saw earlier. Insufficient funds, insufficient funds for when the amount is higher than the actual money that the person has, and when they want to either like withdraw and stuff. And in the account not found, whenever they just put like 1,000 instead of 1,001 or stuff like that. Then we also have over here the customer, which inherits in person, because not every person is at the mall. So here we have the account ID, which connects them to the ATM over here. We also have the comparing array, which I pulled from one of the assignments that we made, and we did, which is where we get the maximum and the minimum. And we also have the stacks and the queues, which I also grabbed from one of the recent assignments that we already did. Since I could just use this right away, since we didn't really have to do much changing. Now we go over here to find the queues. Here we have over here, this is in the queues where we ask for the customer ID, then we make a pending purchase for the record so we can store the amount of stuff that they have, and then we push it to the queue, or we try to push them to the queue, and then we catch the exception if there's a queue overflow, and we clear the pending, and then we reset the total. Now over here, this is the stack. We pop them in the queue, check for pending purchases, find a bank account, check for funds, push customer into the transaction stack and all that. And now over here at the top is where we have the show purchase history. So we check if it's empty, then we have the temporary stack that we talked about earlier, and we loop through the entire the entire thing in grab stack or grab stuff from the stack into the temporary from here, and then we put it into the temporary one over here. And then we get all the information, all that. Move the index up so that we can keep going. And then after that, we fix the stack again. And then the last thing is over here, the main menu, the shopping menu, where you can choose a store. You can list and sort products, as we saw, and then also add items to a cart. And when we do that, we call the store's purchase product from the actual store. Then we check the stock, reduce the stock, compute price times quantity. So like $20 times 3. And then we accumulate these line totals into a cart total for that visit. And then we do all the queues and the stacks and everything for all that. And that's pretty much it. This is pretty much like the entire project. All of these are just small stuff. The store, the only important part is mostly the comparing arrays, which is the minimum and the maximum and all that. We just load all the info pretty much and just override stuff like purchase. When we purchase a product here, we get a fee. And over here with the food court, we get the discount and all that. And then here's where we have the merge and the merge sort, and then the heap sort and all that. And that's about it.